Well, Lane, first off, I'm here at the Stockyard Cafe where they have a command post set up for several stations pretty much across the state to get the most important updated information. Now, Sergeant Swanton here with the West Police just came out just a few minutes ago to give me some more information on what exactly happened last night. He said it was at 7:29 when they got the first call that there was a fire at the plant. It wasn't until 7:53 that the first explosion happened. Now, currently, right now, officials are going house to house, door to door, business to business, trying to find any victims that might be injured or critically injured, and they cannot move or they are severely trapped inside of debris. So again, they are currently still working the scene. They don't have a number on casualties at this point, mainly because they're still searching at this point for any victims. So they are very hesitant to give any numbers at this point. However, he has estimated 5 to 15 casualties. Sergeant Swanton also said that they are missing 3 to 5 firefighters. So total of 5 to 15 casualties. We also know that there's over 160 people that have been injured. 2 local hospitals here near Waco have received, again, over 160 people come in with injuries. Now, another thing that Sergeant Swanton wanted to point out was that they are treating this as a crime scene, not because there is a crime involved. They just don't know if it's industrial at this point. So until they find out if it's industrial, they are having to call it a crime scene. Now, we've also learned that the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality investigated West Fertilizer in June 2006. That's after receiving a complaint of a strong ammonia smell. Agency records show that the person who lodged the complaint said the ammonia smell was, quote, very bad last night and lingered until after he or she went to bed. We also know a large team of federal investigators are headed to Central Texas to investigate today. The U.S. Chemical Safety Board was deploying a large investigation team to probe for that cause of the blast. Now, that team is expected to arrive this afternoon. Meantime, like I said, Sergeant Swanton was one of the first responders on the ground that are still looking for survivors.
This is a downtown area. And when I say downtown area, there are businesses there, there are apartments there, a nursing home was there, there are homes in the area. It is going into a mid-sized city and having to search it home by home, business by business, block by block. It is a very tedious process.
Now, Lane, it is a very dangerous situation out here with not just the instability of the buildings, but also the concern of the dangerous chemicals in the air. So everyone is still on standby. Now, again, I am expecting a press release to happen soon to get any more updates on this situation. We will keep you posted. Reporting live in West, I'm Annette Falconer. Lane, back to you. Lane, I'm here at the Stockyard plant here in West City, like you said, where they're holding press conferences here at the command post for about every hour or two to keep us posted on this story. Now, just a few minutes ago, the sergeant here, Sergeant Swanton, held a press conference and gave us some new updates that he really felt was important to go ahead and tell the public now. Some of the times were a little wrong. He just wanted to correct some of those. It was at 7:29 that the first call came in about the fire at the plant. It wasn't until 7:53 that the first explosion happened. Now, currently, officials are still going door to door, house to house, and business to business looking for victims at their homes. So again, they don't have a number on the number of casualties. In fact, Sergeant Swanton was a little hesitant to tell me any number, but he did mention anywhere from 5 to 15. Now, again, that's just an estimated number. They're not very certain on that at all. But they do know that 2 local hospitals near town have received over 160 victims come in with either critical or serious injuries. So again, over 160 people have for sure injuries. Again, casualties maybe 5 to 15. Now, we also know that the Sergeant Swanton said that they are treating this as a crime scene. So, again, it's not because he's heard that a crime is involved. However, until they find out for sure if it's an industrial accident, they do have to call it a crime scene. So, again, just to let everyone know, it's not because a crime has been necessarily found. They're just waiting to know details if it's an industrial accident for sure. So, again, I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit. If we want to go ahead and take some video here, it could be heard as far away as 45 miles in Waxahachie to the north. So, we learned that there was a fire at the plant before the explosion, like I said, but the cause is unknown at this hour. Now, as you said earlier, the Texas Department of Public Safety says people were killed, but they don't know how many. An EMS spokesman says at least 2 emergency medical personnel are confirmed dead. So again, they are saying also that they're missing 3 to 5 firefighters. So again, a lot of stuff is happening over this period of time. We are trying to get more information, but evacuees are underway with first responders going house to house trying to get everyone out.
All right, thanks, our Annette Falconer reporting live this morning in West. Now, I do
I've talked to a couple people out here just recently. Obviously, everyone's first concern is for the people, their family, their friends. They're currently looking for everyone that they know and trying to make calls and text messages and trying to find the people out here. Now, they just held a press conference here a few minutes ago at the command post outside the Stockyard Post. It's just about a few miles away from where the blast occurred. And Sergeant Swanton said that the first call that they got last night was at 7:29, saying that there was a fire at the plant. Then around 7:53 is when they heard the first explosion, so just about 20-30 minutes later. Now currently right now, officials are still going door to door, house to house, building to building, looking for any victims that might be stuck under the rubble and trying to find these people, trying to help them and get them to the local hospitals. Now, talking about the local hospitals, we've heard that almost 200 people have reported to 2 local hospitals near Waco. So again, almost 200 people are injured. Now, as far as casualties are concerned, Sergeant Swanton was very hesitant in giving us a number at this point. However, he did estimate anywhere from 5 to 15 casualties at this time. So again, that is just an estimation. One other thing that he wanted to point out is they are working this as a crime scene, not because a crime is involved and they don't know anything about a crime. However, they have to call it a crime scene because there is no evidence saying it's industrial at this point. So they're waiting to hear if it's industrial. Obviously, this is going to be a long day out here for investigators trying to find out what exactly made this blast go off. Now, again, families are out here, are praying, looking for their families and friends. We do know, they just told us that people are going to the local high school that is just a few miles away from here to find each other and look for each other. Again, there was a widespread evacuation that was given at this time. Now, again, people are actually coming here today to look for the strong ammonia smell. There was somebody that called in yesterday complaining that the ammonia smell was very bad last night and lingered until after he or she went to bed. We also know a large team of federal investigators are headed to Central Texas today to investigate. The U.S. Chemical Safety Board was deploying a large investigation team to probe for the cause of the blast. Now, meantime, again, like I said, first responders like Sergeant Swanton are on the ground looking for survivors.
This is a downtown area, and when I say downtown area, there are businesses there, there are apartments there, a nursing home was there, there are homes in the area. It is going into a mid-sized city and having to search it home by home, business by business, block by block. It is a very tedious process.
Now, it is a very dangerous recovery situation right now, not just because of all the unstable buildings, but obviously the concern of all the chemicals in the air. I will keep you updated as we go throughout today and through the morning. We are here at the command post waiting for more news and more updates to come. Until then, again, prayers for the families, for all those that were involved. Reporting live in West City, I'm Annette Falconer. Lane, back to you.
All right, Annette, please.
I'm at the Stockyard where they're having a command post set up for several of the stations to get the most recent information. Now, what I do know is that air quality out here, they say, is not hazardous in this situation. However, it does make it harder, obviously, for the efforts in finding those people that need all the help that they can get. Officials are going door to door and house to house and business to business at this time, trying to find any victims that need any help. Now, again, they don't want to give a number for any casualties at this time, just because it would be just an estimation. They do say, however, that there's 3 to 5 firefighters missing. And they also say that there's casualties could be anywhere from 5 to 15 people. Now, again, that is just an estimation. The number could go up, obviously, as their efforts continue looking for those people that need help. Now, I also know that 2 local hospitals here in Waco are filled with people that are receiving treatment. Over 160 people are injured, and you even said 200. So I think more updates are just coming in very fast this morning. We are trying to keep you guys posted with the most recent information. Now, another tip that Sergeant Swanton just gave was that they are calling this a crime scene, not because there is a crime that they have heard of being involved, but because they don't know for sure if it's an industrial. So they'd rather call it a crime rather than going back and correcting it later. So again, no crime has been detected here in this situation. Now, as far as going out and seeing the environment, they really have tried to keep off this whole area blocked. So they've sent all of this media over in one area here at the stockyard, about a couple miles away from where the explosion took place. I have done a couple of interviews here today, talking to some of the residents, and obviously it's just a devastation feeling down here. It's so sad. People are just trying to get through this early morning. Daylight could break out and bring even more devastation. So again, we are just trying to keep all the updates and keeping prayers for all those families that were involved. Reporting here in West City, I'm Annette Falconer. Back to you, Lane.
Thanks a lot, Annette, for that live report.